The Takeover.
Okay. Did we start? Yeah, we did. That's how I start.
Takeover.
Hello? There's a lot of things testing. We're gonna get 1, 2. There's testing. And when I speak ham. The levels are up. The levels are good. The levels are good, guys. The levels are good. We're good to start. We're starting good. We're starting well. We're starting okay. The game has started. We started the game, and we're ready, and we're off. And we're off, and we started. And here we are, episode 42. Episode 42 of the Takeover, and the coffee's it's going to kick in during the episode. Here's the thing. It's going to kick in later, but because it's an early episode. I'm doing this in the morning because it's Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And the thing about the day before Thanksgiving is you have to be mentally prepared for what's to come. You have to be mentally prepared for what's to come because tomorrow is a big day, even if you're not participating. And this is true. There's people that don't participate out there in Thanksgiving. I've never met one of those people. I never have met one of those people that doesn't participate, but I'm sure there's somebody out there. It's not something I just made up, but it kind of is something I made up, but we don't even know if that's true or not. But I would assume with the possibility and the percentages of the people in this country, it's probably a thing where people don't participate in Thanksgiving. And that's kind of sad because if you are participating in Thanksgiving, you're happier. There's no way you're not happier. Now, some people get stressed out because they're hosting, or they get stressed out because they have to go somewhere, or they're not enjoying it because of the people they're going to spend it with, because they can't let go of some internal problems they have with each other. You know, we're not going to get into that because I'm not their specific psychiatrist. Now, if they listen to the Takeover, that would be different. Then we could work on things, right? We could work on things together as a team because we're a team here at the Takeover, at the greatest sports podcast ever in history that doesn't talk about sports. Now, remember, check out the Patreon or team memberships on YouTube. Check it out. It will be a fun time. Become a member. Also, leave a 5-star review. You know all the stuff. You know all the stuff that you have to do, and I don't have to ask you again. Now, there's a reason we're going to talk about Thanksgiving right up the top, because multiple reasons. It's tomorrow, but also this is also our last day in LA normal. We're being shut down again. So this episode should be called Quarantine Episode 2. You know what I mean? Like, it should be, I don't even know what I'm going to call this episode yet, but it should be called Quarantine Part 2. Because we're about to be shut down for the second time. And in LA, we're being shut down how we were shut down originally the first time when I started this podcast, when it was called Quarantine Week 1. The first episode of starting this style of the podcast. Obviously, there was episodes before that I did, but for this version, we're on episode 42. That was 42 weeks ago, maybe 40 weeks ago, because there was episodes where I did multiple episodes in a week. But here we are again we're in the same situation almost a year later. And I remember thinking, what was this going to last? A month, 2 months at most, maybe? And here we are, and it looks like we're going to get to episode 52 and still be in this mess. And that's crazy. That puts perspective into things, right? It makes us realize that we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea when things will end. And I've gone crazy. That's what we realized. We've realized I've gone crazy. No, but here's the real deal, okay? Before we get into the whole lockdown situation, Thanksgiving you have to be prepared for. You have to be very prepared for because, listen, and I stress this every year, and I've said this on podcasts before, so this isn't, if you've listened to stuff before, maybe this isn't the first time you've heard it, multiple things about Thanksgiving. If you want to win Thanksgiving, you have to wake up a little bit early. All right. And this was never a thing when I was in high school or college. It was a sleep-in day because Wednesday, tonight, is always known as the biggest going out day of the year. Ready? All over the country, this was the day you went out. Like when I lived in South Florida and we came home from college, Wednesday night was huge. You go out to Fort Lauderdale, we'd go down to like Riverfront area in Fort Lauderdale, and you would go out and you would see everyone that you saw from high school. Everybody was home from their colleges that they went to, whether they went to UCF or UF or FSU, and you would see people, oh, how have you been? How are you? And it was just like the ultimate going out night because everybody was home. Everybody was home and everybody was going out because you get to sleep in because nobody has work the next day. And it's just always been known as the biggest going out day of the year across the whole country. And that's a fact. This isn't something I'm making up, and I'm sure you've heard about this, but it is a fact. So it was always exciting because you go out and you see everyone and you get wasted and you have a good time. And then you probably sleep in and wake up, and then before you know it, you're waking up and relatives are already at your house. Like I remember when I was in high school and college, wake up, grandparents and uncles, they were already at the house by the time I'm waking up. People would be like, oh, what are you doing? They always do that annoying joke where they're like, oh, what are you going to sleep all day? Hey, what are you going to sleep all day? Like, shut up. I was drinking until 3 a.m. and meeting up with my friends. Let me live my life. What are you sleeping all day? No, I'm not sleeping all day. I'm getting my 8 hours of sleep like you got your 8 hours of sleep. I just went to bed at 3 a.m. and you went to bed at 9 p.m. There's a difference. Always annoys me to this day when people are like, whoa, what are you going to sleep till noon? I went to bed at 3 a.m. You went to bed at 11. What does it matter as long as, hey, now if we got, now here, I clicked something and it bothered me. Here's the deal. If I got, and I'm going off into another tangent, but like, let's focus. I'm going off into something else. But my whole point is, if we both get 8 hours, who cares when it happens? Don't get on my case about when I wake up if it's different from you. We both got 8 hours. We both got our 8 hours. Maybe we both got 7 hours. Maybe we even only got 6 hours. But what does it matter when our 6 hours are? We have different lives, so don't get on my case about how I wake up or when I go to sleep, okay? All that matters is that we're both getting our sleep, right? So shut up, uncles and dads and family members that are hating on the high schoolers and college kids that are sleeping in on Thanksgiving. Give them a break. That's the whole point. Get off their case. Get off their case because it's not that big of a deal, okay? And you're making it a big deal, and that's because you're mad and you're jealous that you didn't get to go out on that Wednesday because you had a family, and you have a family, and you have to prepare for Thanksgiving, and that's what this whole point of this episode is, right? A little bit. Now it feels like the coffee's kicked in. Now for real, but the only reason you can't get up early is because of high school, college, right? Now, as an adult, I'll get up early tomorrow. And this is the key about getting up early for Thanksgiving, okay? First of all, on the West Coast, because of football, main reason, the football games are coming on a lot earlier, right? I think they start at 1 East Coast, so it's 10 a.m. here. So if you even want to see the first game, you have to be up at 10 a.m. anyways. That's how it is for me on Sundays. On Sundays, I have to be up at 9:30 just to prep my day to watch football, okay? Do I like it? No. Do I forget about it sometimes on Saturday nights? Yes. The point is, you got to get up early because let's say, and depending on when you eat Thanksgiving dinner, that's a whole nother situation. But you have to get up early because you have to eat a big breakfast. And people that don't understand this, it irks me. It irks me in my brain more than anything in the world. It irks me to the fullest, okay? How do you not get this? If you get up early and you eat a big breakfast, it doesn't even have to be huge, but if you make sure you get a breakfast in, your stomach is expanding. It's expanding, okay? You want your stomach to expand, okay? Why? Why do you want your stomach to expand? Because we need to fit as much food as possible into our stomach, okay? And this is a fact. How do you do that? By expanding your stomach. That means Wednesday night, eat late. Eat late before you go to bed. Fine. This isn't healthy, by the way. We're not talking about health reasons. We're not going to be on a health kick and like try to motivate you to get healthier and be a better person. We're throwing that out the window for this episode, all right? I know that I want to push positivity and I want us all to be a better person, but I'm saying for the purposes of Thanksgiving, Wednesday, have a big meal, dinner, go to bed, shut your stomach out a little bit, then have a big breakfast. You got to have a big breakfast, especially if you're eating around 1 or 2, okay? Because then you got to, if you're eating around 1 or 2, you got to make sure you're up at like 9:30, 10 and getting that breakfast in. And you're expanding your stomach because I'm telling you this is from experience. If you go to bed and then you wake up and your first meal is Thanksgiving, you're not fully enjoying it. And if someone says, Thanksgiving's whatever to me, it's because they're doing that. I promise you that right now. If someone's like, Thanksgiving isn't like my favorite, it's like, if you're not enjoying the food and everything like that, it's because you're full. You're full off one plate. You're not going for multiple plates, okay? If you're not going for multiple plates, it's because that's your first meal of the day, and you're not doing it correctly. I promise you that right now. And you're not enjoying it, and for that, you're saying that the whole holiday is not for you. Like, if Thanksgiving isn't one of your top holidays, there's something wrong. It's because you're not playing the game right. There's simple rules. And I've said this before, and I stress it every year. It's a simple little game that you play with yourself to make Thanksgiving as best as possible. You need to get up early and have a big breakfast. It makes Thanksgiving extremely better. I mean, I'm talking about extremely better. And that's why I'm putting this episode out immediately. So as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm getting it out there because you guys need to hear this. You need to hear this because it's very important. It's a very important Thanksgiving episode. Okay, so that being said, I just want to start off the episode with that energy and kind of go, hey, this is for real. This is for real. This is real life. We could really have a good time if we really just, get up early, expand the stomachs. You'll get more food in. I promise you. And some of you could be like, well, even if you wake up and you don't have a big breakfast and your stomach's full from the beginning, then you could get a plate later for dinner or leftovers. It's not the same because it's not as warm and you're not gathering it with everyone else. It's like you're missing out on the moment, I promise you. And life is about moments, right? Moments that you want to remember forever. And you only get, maybe 70 to 80 Thanksgivings, right? Because you don't remember the first 6 or 7, right? You're only 6 or 7 years old. So if you make it to 87 years old, you only get 80 Thanksgivings. How many of those do you actually really remember? I remember 3. Looking back, I remember like 3 of them. They weren't that special to me. You don't want to know why? Because of most of my life, I woke up when Thanksgiving was being served because I was always hungover throughout my life until I was like 26, right? And then I moved to LA. And every LA I've spent Thanksgiving here. So I've never actually done it back at home. I've never really had that at home Thanksgiving that was really like fun. Wow. I just got a little sad there. I didn't really get super sad. It's like a joking sad. Like I'm not going to get emo. But to think about, wow, I've never actually followed my own rules back at home because I was always in that mode from like as a kid from high school to, even post-college. I was going out on that Wednesday and then being hungover and waking up and not doing the big breakfast thing. The big breakfast thing really I always knew about. I learned about when I was younger because I always knew. I was like, man, I'm not enjoying this as much because I'm full off of one plate. And then I was uncomfortable the whole day. And then I didn't feel good. And then I was just like, because I was forcing food into me. And I felt like I overate. So I'm just going to throw that out there. That being said, let's take a quick break to thank our sponsor, Manscaped.com. Okay, guys, I stress this every week, and I shit you not, Manscaped.com. You know the website by now. It's Manscaped.com. And remember, when you're at the website, what do you have to do? It is a rhetorical question, but if you're listening, I want you to say it out loud wherever you are. Go, oh yeah, Takeover at checkout for 20% off and free shipping, okay? There's also a Jingle Bell promo for December, right? We have the Perfect Package 3.0, and I put up the little sticker right here over my right shoulder because in the Perfect Package, there's a bunch of things that come with it, and it's actually a great holiday gift. It's a great holiday gift. Ladies, if you actually care about your guy and you want him to be the best version of himself, then you're going to get the Perfect Package 3.0. Am I right or am I wrong? Be honest. And I'm not asking you to argue with me right now, but be honest. Would the Perfect Package 3.0 over the holidays for Christmas even, or Black Friday, which is 2 days away, is that not something that he would appreciate and it's not offensive because he would be like, oh, that's adorable. It's actually adorable because he's like, he'll be like, oh, that's adorable. She wants me to relate to her. Like if a girl got me the Perfect Package 3.0, I'd be like, oh, that's cute. She wants me to be like all dolled up how she gets dolled up with like makeup. That's our version of makeup, right? Because we had the Weed Whacker, which is going to trim the nose and ears, which by the way, you don't have to do it a lot, but when you do have it, it's great. Because, when you're sitting here cuddled and you're looking up at the nose, you could see those hairs. It might bother you. It could be something that makes you want to break up with a guy. And you don't want to break up over the holidays, because if you break up over the holidays, then every holiday, you're going to think about that breakup. But you're not going to think about that breakup if you get the Perfect Package 3.0 that comes with the weed whacker to trim the nose hairs. Hopefully, your guy doesn't have the ear hairs and he doesn't have to trim those, but the weed whacker can be used for the ears as well as the nose. That being said, you could be laying on this shirt right here. You could be laying on this shirt, which is very soft, and it's soft. And if you're laying on this soft shirt, guess what? He's not going to be soft. And that's a pun on things. And we're not going to get too dirty because mom listens, but hopefully she skips over this part. But I'm just saying, we're not going to get soft if you're laying on this. It's going to make him, yes, hard. Now you're getting it. Now what happens when he's hard? You're going to go do your thing, and then you're going to be like, wow, it's very groomed down there. Now, you like hair. Everybody likes a little hair, but it's trimmed. Why is it trimmed? Why is it trimmed? Guys, tell him why it's trimmed. Hello, why is it trimmed? Because you got your clippers that have the little special light on it that trim it up, and he doesn't even need to tell you when he's doing it, right? Because he's trimming it up, and it's nice. And guess what? What has he got going on there? What's the smell? Why does it feel nice? He's got the crop reviver. All right? He's got the crop reviver cream, lotion, whatever, and it makes everything smell better. So while you're doing it, you're like, wow, this smells so good. It makes you want to do it even more. And I'm just saying that this is from what I've heard from other women, okay? This is what they've been telling me, because I'm not a woman. I haven't done what I'm explaining, but I'm just letting you know that this is a big deal. I've heard this from a lot of people, and I know it's something fun. So all of that and more comes with the Perfect Package 3.0, which is a great holiday gift and would be great to get on Black Friday. But also, what do? You go to manscaped.com and you put Takeover at checkout. It's actually a phenomenal time. All right, so I don't have to stress that enough, but I'm letting you know that this is real life. Other things that come over there, the lawnmower. The lawnmower comes with it. We talked about the lawnmower, so you can keep everything you need trimmed, cut free. It smells nice down there. Other things am I missing? Nothing. Just know that, like, first of all, you're not going to be having smells. Actually, and I'm not saying your guy smells, but I'm also saying, guys, if you're just listening to this, you could get this for your girls. Think about this. This is actually a brilliant idea. You go to manscaped.com. You get everything that you want for yourself, whether it's the t-shirt, it's the underwear, which the underwear makes girls want to rub. I swear to God, I had a girl feel my underwear, and she was like, ooh, I like the feeling of this. And I go, yeah. Keep doing it. And it led to a hand job. It led to a hand job because she liked the material of the underwear. That's not a lie. This is not a lie. This isn't, like, if I tweeted that out, Twitter wouldn't put this is disputed. They wouldn't put that disputed thing over this because it's a fact. If a girl rubs your underwear and goes, oh, I like the way this feels, you go, hey, keep going. That's a real thing. My whole point is, guys, this is a brilliant idea. You could get stuff from manscaped.com for you, but gift it to your girl and say, hey, I got this for you for me to use so that you have a better experience. Hear me out. You go to manscaped.com, pick out the things you like. Maybe not the shirt. That could be just for you. But like the nose, the weed whacker, and then maybe some of the lotion stuff and the underwear. You buy it, but give it to her, gift it. She opens it. Hear me out. She opens it and she goes, what is this? And you go, it's going to make me better. And she goes, huh? And you go, it's going to make your experience better while we hook up. And she's going to be like, oh my God, he's consciously thinking about how I feel while I'm doing stuff to make him feel good. And that's manipulation to the best. And that's why you're going to do that, guys. I'm just saying that's a brilliant idea for this whole holiday gift thing. Get a gift for her, but that's really for you, but it's also for both of you. And you do that by going to manscaped.com. At checkout, you use the code TAKEOVER, and you get 20% off and free shipping. So thank you to Manscaped, and thank you to everybody for continuing to support the podcast. And by that, I mean by going to the Patreon or the membership the memberships on the YouTube page, and keep leaving those 5-star reviews, and tell a friend. And if you're on YouTube watching, like the video, share it, and subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast. Okay, now that we're back, and the coffee's for sure kicked in, let's talk about some of the things we got going on. If I didn't live in LA, I'd be a really fat person. I will say that. And I think this is true for a lot of people. I think this is true for South Florida. I think this is true for LA. I think this is true for San Diego. I think this is true for places with warm weather. I think it's a warm weather thing. And I don't think it's you're consciously thinking about it, but I think that if you are around good-looking people, very beautiful people, I'm around a lot of beautiful people. All over LA, there's beautiful people. When I grew up in South Florida, there's beautiful people. It makes me humbled. I go, oh, I'm a regular guy. I'm just a regular guy. Like, I look like I look like if you were playing a video game and you were like, I want to create a player. I'm kind of what the default look is. It's like, okay, we'll start with this. Do you want to make him fatter? Do you want to make him a little skinnier? Do you want to make him more muscular? Do you want to make him more ripped? Do you want to make his head bigger? Do you want to make his ears bigger? Do you want to make his nose bigger? I'm just like the default start. I know what I am. It's a 6, could be a 7. That's where I'm at, even in LA. Now, if I lived in Iowa, I'm a 10. I'm a 10 in Iowa, but maybe actually not, because I wouldn't wear like boots and stuff. I wouldn't be wearing cowboy boots and stuff and I wouldn't have a lot of facial hair, and I wouldn't chew on like a straw or something. I feel like if you're in Iowa and you chew on a straw, it's attractive. Or not even a straw, like a piece of like a corn weave or something. I don't even know if that's a thing. I might have just made it up. The point is, being around other good-looking people or attractive people, it makes you want to be active, I think. Is this true? Is this something I'm saying that I don't believe in? You caught me. But I do think that it is easier to have the active mentality of being healthy, right? Like, today is going to be a big workout day for me because of Thanksgiving tomorrow. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Like, I've seen videos online like of people talking about like how much they're going to work out today because they feel guilty about how bad they're going to eat tomorrow, which is like, you can still enjoy Thanksgiving and not like overeat or eat horrible. But I think it's just because there's so many sweets. There's like pumpkin pies and pecan pie and ice cream and then there's like, cake and cookies, and then there's the turkey and the gravy and the cranberry sauce and the stuffing. And by the way, cranberry is the most like, who cares of Thanksgiving. And I know we're getting off about like why we work out and stuff, but for me, cranberry's never been an exciting thing for Thanksgiving. I mean, for me, the actual core of Thanksgiving, like, what's the heart of Thanksgiving? Do you think it's the turkey? It's really not. It's not the turkey at all. The turkey is like what the team is, right? Like, if Thanksgiving is a football team or a baseball team, if it's team, that's the logo. The logo is the turkey, right? It's like, oh, what represents Thanksgiving? The turkey. But it's not the quarterback of the team. Like if your favorite team is the Miami Dolphins, you're like, oh, the Miami Dolphins. You think about Miami Dolphins, the history of the Miami Dolphins, who's played for the Miami Dolphins. That's the turkey, right? But it's not the core of what is Thanksgiving though. What is it? What is it though? The core, the heart of Thanksgiving is stuffing. It's the stuffing. And everybody has different stuffings, right? Every mom has different stuffings. People argue about not putting nuts in stuffing, right? They'll put like cashews, I think, is the one that people put in stuffing. Stuffing is the heart of Thanksgiving. I would say for sure. Cranberry is like, oh, cool, it's there. Oh, that's cool. Oh, we got cranberry? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll try some. That's what it is. Yeah, maybe I'll try some. Maybe I'll try some cranberry. That's what it is. Stuffing, if you don't have stuffing on Thanksgiving, it's noticed. People go, there's no stuffing? Wait, whoa. Hey, there's no stuffing here? That's what people do. I've been to a place where there was no stuffing at a Friendsgiving in LA, and people go like this. There's no stuffing? Because even if you buy the stovetop stuffing that's like cheap, it still is good. It still makes the plate. Like you have to have it because how often here's why. This is a big part of it. How often are you having stuffing? How often are you having stuffing? Not really. Maybe that's what you're having once a year. How often are you having turkey? Multiple times throughout the year. Even if it's a cold cut. I know that's different, but throughout the year, there are other times when you're having turkey, right? You are having turkey. But stuffing is like, no. I think Thanksgiving, the heart of Thanksgiving is the sides, is what I'm trying to say. Now, we could rank the sides, like again, cranberries, like, cool, it's there. But stuffing, that's the heart, okay? Green bean casserole, that's evolved. That's evolved Thanksgiving. That's where people are like, oh, you should have that. That makes it better. Green bean casserole makes Thanksgiving better. You need to have it there. It's evolved over time. Over the years, you're like, whoa, this is good. This is like an exciting new player that came to a team. That's what's up with green bean casserole. Sweet potatoes, sure as hell better be there. It's the running back, and it's got to show up. It's the defense. You got to have a good sweet potato dish, or Thanksgiving's you're not going to win championships. You're not going to win championships unless you have a Thanksgiving sweet potato dish. Because, listen, the quarterback is the stuffing. It's the heart. The sweet potatoes, that's the defense. You need both of those to win Thanksgiving. The whole team, the turkey is the logo of the team, right? The logo is the turkey. The stuffing is the quarterback, all right? The sweet potatoes, the sweet potato dish, that's the defense. You need all of these to create a good winning team. Cranberry, cool, we have it. It's a fullback. Really? It's a fullback. Do we even have one on the team? If it's not there, we don't care. Okay? Green bean casserole? Oh, we got a weapon here. We got a weapon with green bean casserole. We got a weapon. Oh no, nobody knew about this slot receiver. That's what I'm saying right now. Nobody knew about it. Mashed potatoes, though. Mashed potatoes is your middle linebacker. The heart of the defense. Okay? Yes, a good sweet potato dish is the defense, but mashed potatoes is just expected. It's not the heart like stuffing, but it's like you have to. It has to be there for everything to work. So it's the middle linebacker. It has to be there. Without it, it doesn't keep the team together. Okay, does that make sense? Another dish would be. That's it, really, for me. That's all it really is. I mean, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is not as important as people think. Mac and cheese is special teams, right? It's special, and it could win games for you. It's not what wins championships. It's good to have. When you have a good mac and cheese, it's great. It's great when you have a good mac and cheese. But if your mac and cheese slacks, it's fine because we know the sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, the stuffing, and the green bean casserole together could make the logo of the team win a championship. That's for sure. And this might be confusing to you all, but this is real life, okay? This is real life. I promise you that. This is real life. Now, that being said, the whole thing about like being in a warm weather place that makes you want to work out is you want to keep up. It's what you're around. Like I don't know what it's like, but if I was living, this is real. When you travel a lot, and I've traveled a lot, one thing you will notice at airports is America's overweight. Everybody is overweight. Next time you go to an airport, just kind of sit there, wait for your flight, and just people watch. I guarantee you 8 out of 10 people are overweight. That's crazy. And that's the best way to see it. Next time you're at an airport, and maybe you're at an airport this week because you're traveling, because this is also biggest party week. This is always the biggest traveling day of the year. Is this whole week. It's the biggest traveling week of the year because everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. It's not necessarily Christmas. Now, also, maybe it's less because of COVID, but next time you're traveling, count how many times you actually see every 10 people, how many of those 10 people were in shape. I would say 2 out of 10. That's sad, right? So that being said, I'm going to say warm weather places, probably more in shape people. Now, the middle of the country, now if I lived in like Oklahoma or Dallas or wherever, somewhere where you're around people who are maybe tend to be a little bit more out of shape, does that make you feel like you could slack off a little bit more? I would say that that's probably true. I'm not saying it's true of everyone, but I would say it's less motivating when you're around people who are out of shape, because it makes you think, okay, well, everybody, it looks like this. So it's like, I don't feel bad about it because like, I'm not on the outside. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can slack off a little bit because everybody is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel bad about myself. I don't feel bad about myself because I don't have a friend who's doing it. But when you're around other people who are in shape and they're like, oh, I got to work out. It puts, you're like, oh, I should too. I should do that as well. It puts pressure on you. It gives you a little bit of anxiety. It happens with me and my roommate. Like if I work out and he's like, he'll sometimes be like, you're going to work out? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, it like makes him want to work out. And same thing when he does it, he'll like work out and I'll be like, oh, well, I got to work out too then. Like it's not even a competition, but it's just like, why am I not? What's the point? I have the time to, so why am I not? You know what I mean? Everybody really has the time to. I mean, some people might have very little time to, but even my friends in Florida who don't have a lot of time, they wake up an hour earlier just to do it. And I've stressed that before on this podcast, like episodes ago, maybe earlier in the year, like there's no reason to like either get up 45 minutes earlier than you usually do and at least start with 20 minutes a day. Even if you're working out 20 minutes a day, you know what I mean? There's no excuse to just do it. And if you're around other people who have that mentality, it will make it easier for you. So also find friends that are like that. Even if you're not in a place that's warm weather, there are other people who are active wherever you live. That is true. You just have to find that friend and kind of hang out with them and get into their habits. Like go meet them for coffee once a week. It will change your game. Go meet someone for coffee. If you're not a big person into working out or staying active, find someone. There's got to be someone in your contacts, whether that you works with you or you hang out with or someone that is active. Hit them up and be like, let's get coffee once a week. And their mentality will rub off on you and make you want to do it at least once or twice a week. Even if you're starting off small. That's all it is. It's just habits. Remember we've talked about habits before? Like if you just start a small little habit and then you do it consistently, 30, 60, 90 days later, it's a lifestyle change. And that's a fact. Wow. So now, before we get into anything, I don't know why I have this. I don't even know how to transition into this, but like, I'm not a strip club guy. I'm not a strip club guy at all. And I never understood it. Now, of course, I've been to strip clubs throughout my whole life, but it's just stupid to me. It's so stupid. And it's just like, what is this? What are we really doing? We're just like, I could go do this online, but also like, I don't get turned on by it. And I just think it's just like, I just think it's so pointless. I rather hang out with friends at a bar and get drunk than go to a strip club and sit around chairs and like watch a girl dance naked. And it's not even a gay or straight thing. I think it's just so dumb. It doesn't make sense. It's like, first of all, if I'm going to be around women and I'm a single guy and I want to hit on women, I want to hit on women that are attainable. I don't want to hit on a woman and be like, oh, this is stupid. She's just trying to get money out of my pockets. She just wants to take me to the room and get a lap dance. Like, I never understood that. I go, that's not even fun because what are we even doing? Like, I rather, even if you could pay, like there are some places where you could pay and you'd be like, and they'll hook up with you, right? And you're paying $200-$300, whatever these guys are paying. I don't know, right? And they're paying, and there's basically a prostitute, right? Even that is not as fun as being at a bar and meeting a girl and like being flirty and having a banter. Like I'd rather not get laid and have banter with a girl at a bar that I think, oh, I could meet her and this could be attainable. That is more enjoyable to me than going to a strip club. I never really even understood strip clubs. I mean, I just thought it was like a thing for men to be like, yeah, this is cool. This is what men do. Let's get drunk and go to a strip club because that's what men do. Never understood that. And I actually hate myself even more for just doing what I just did with that whole little, yeah. Like, I hate when people do that and I just did it. But my whole point is I had the note down for like why, like, because I think that we all lie to ourselves. I think a lot of men lie to ourselves and say that we enjoy strip clubs, but we don't. And if you go to a strip club, have you ever been to a strip club and you're with like a group of friends and it's a bachelor party and you go and you check out the guys who are there who are just like regulars? There are people who are regulars who just go and they are into it. I get that it's a thing that you can be into. Everything is in this world. Anyone could be into anything. I understand that. People could be into like dressing up as a Marvel character and then having sex in that costume. There's weird stuff. But when you go to a strip club and it's not like a group of guys on a bachelor party, that could be fun. You're all wasted. You're having a good time. It's for a laugh. You're all just laughing and stuff. That's different. But when you go there and it's like, you're like, yo, let's go. We got nothing to do. And you're there and look at the other guys who are there who are just like there with like a friend or by themselves. That's sad. That's crazy to me. It's people who are just like, I think a little bit of it is they're lonely, but also it's just like yeah, it's I don't know what it is, but look around at the people. Like a lot of the time you'll go to a strip club and there's groups of guys, right? There's groups of guys that are like being funny, they're celebrating, right? But then if you just pay attention, which is hard, but just take your eyes off the girls and then kind of just observe the guys who are not with groups of people and they're just there. That's weird to me. That's just weird to me. Like, they just like watching these women just dance on the poles. Wouldn't you have more of a connection just kind of like flirting with a girl, though? You know what I mean? Here's what it is. I would say there's a correlation between intelligence level and guys who are regulars at strip clubs. And I'm sorry if that's mean, but I would say the more intelligent person would not get off at a strip club because you get off more at like the banter between a girl meeting a girl and like getting to know them and flirting with them and like wanting to like hang out with them. Like that's more of a turn on to me. Yes, I like seeing a naked girl. Yes, I like seeing someone with a great body. Sure. But at the end of the day, that only goes so far. So if you're a guy who regularly can just go and then talk to a girl and like and she's just like the whole time the conversation's fake because she just wants you to spend more money on her, like, yo, you're a simple man. You're a simp is what the kids are saying. You're a simp. Like, what are you doing? You're just literally like, how are you getting off to that? Like, she's just using you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if you disagree, that's fine. But, that being said, and this might be dark to some of you guys, but nobody talks about this. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to bring this up because I actually think that this is another stupid thing we do in society. Funerals, okay? Funerals to me are... This is the dumb part about funerals, is when people are like, when I die, I want this, this, and that. And I want it like this, and I want it like... Shut up. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. So why do you care so much about what happens after you die? Funerals should literally be for... They should be for the kids, like, or whoever the loved one is going through the mourning. It should be for whatever makes them feel better or helps them get through this part of life. Correct? If you're a spouse, right? If you're a spouse and you don't have kids, right? If you have kids, then it's the whole family's decision. But it should be their decision. It should always be about the family. It should be like, what will help you get through this mourning process? Like, I had this, I think I wrote this down because I had this with my mom. And she's like, well, I want this. And I was like, Mom, what does it matter? You're dead. Like, shouldn't it be about what makes me and my sister feel better? Like, what gets us through this? Like, for me, I don't put a lot of weight on it. I don't need, like, if I die, I'll tell my kids. I mean, not if I die. When I die, if I have a family, I'm going to be like, listen, I'm going to die and save your money and do whatever you want with it. For me, just cremate me and so be it. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You want to have a funeral? Go ahead. You don't want to have a funeral? You don't need one. You want to have a wake? Sure. You want to have a little party at the house and everybody just tells stories about me? Whatever helps you, because you're the one alive. You're alive and you have to deal with the mourning for the rest of your life. You have to live with that weight. I'm gone. What do I care? What do I care? Do I like the thought of people doing something after I die while I'm alive? Do I like that thought in my head? Yeah, sure. But what does it matter? What does it really matter? That's only for you while you're alive. While I'm alive right now, it would be nice if people, they're going to do that. They're going to do it no matter what. Even if you save the money and don't spend the $30,000 on a casket and a tombstone and a ceremony, renting out a place, like all the money that they rip off of families who are going through someone dying, all that bullshit that is a fucking business to take advantage of people. And this came up the other day, like the vets do it too when your dog's passing. Like, we could try to keep him alive, but like, just tell me, should I put him down? Like, they don't tell you. Like, people know that you're in a situation where you'll do anything to make yourself feel better because you're vulnerable and you're sad. But like, it's ridiculous how expensive it is when someone dies. Like, why are we doing that? And that's for what? Because the person before they died was like, well, I want to make sure I have this beautiful ceremony for when I die. Like, who is that for though? That's for you when you're alive. You're the thought of you going, oh, I want that. That would be nice. But like, don't spend the money. People are still going to mourn you in their own ways in their head. Like, even if I didn't, like when I had a buddy that passed away at the beginning of the year, I didn't go. And I didn't watch it. They did it on Zoom because of quarantine. But I thought about him in my head, and I mourned it in my head. I mourned it, and everybody will mourn you to themselves in a certain way. There doesn't have to be this whole thing of like, you need to come here and you need to watch me be buried. Like, what is that for? It should be for whatever helps the immediate family mourn the easiest. That's what it should be. It should not be about what the person wants after they die. That's what my whole point is. My whole point is, it's so dumb when someone's like, I want this to be about, this. I want this to be special. Like, you're dead. What does it matter? My funeral should be dope. It should be like, there's a party at my house. That's what it is. I tell my friends, I go, hey, we're having a party at the house. After I die, I want you guys, we're not going anywhere. Just have them cremate me, and they will send you the ashes, and do whatever you please with the ashes. That's what you're doing with this, okay? That's the cheapest way. If I'm very wealthy, I want my head frozen because I think they'll bring me back to life. I believe that. I want a frozen head, and then they bring me back to life in like the year 4000, and it's me, Walt Disney, and Ted Williams, and we're just walking around having conversations. And we're like, wow, what's your name? Ted. Yeah, I know Ted. Walt Disney and Ted would know each other. They wouldn't know me, but I would have to explain it. I'm like, I was born after you guys died, or not you, Ted, but, I was a big fan of your guys' work, and, I did some stuff myself too, fancy me. And, I just catch up with them, and then we kind of like say, wow, how different is this world? And I go, it's pretty different, but the world got a lot different after you guys died. A lot, like, I saw the most change. Internet, I was alive for that. You guys really weren't. So, and Walt Disney won't even be able to fathom it. And then Ted will be like, okay, I remember seeing fast cars and stuff. I don't know what his voice sounded like, but either way, that would be a fun thing. But my whole point is having like a little party at the house, and then catered Chick-Fil-A. I want everybody eating Chick-Fil-A, and like, it's a good time and people are enjoying it, and we have maybe other fast food things, but people are just getting wasted laughing, like a good time, and just share stories. But catered Chick-Fil-A is a big part of it. I want a catered Chick-Fil-A thing. I think that would be fun. By the way, Chick-Fil-A, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Chick-fil-A should not be allowed to have commercials on Sunday. If you're not going to be open on Sunday, then I shouldn't have to see your commercial on a Sunday, because that's not fair. That's not fair. You can't advertise yourself, but then not be available that day. Because if I watch the commercial and I go, and then I can't get you, that's not fair. So that should be a thing. Like, Chick-fil-A should not be able to have commercials on Sundays. If you're not going to be open on Sundays, then you can't throw Polynesian sauce dripping over a piece of chicken and then tell me I can't have it that day. That's not fair. So what am I just supposed to take a mental note of that, a mental image, and then use it for later, and then wake up Monday and be like, oh, remember that Chick-fil-A commercial? No, that's not fair. That's not how that should work. I should be able to get Chick-fil-A when I see the commercial. When I see a commercial for fast food, I want it that day because I saw the commercial. I go, new cheesy gordita crunch looks good. Then I'm going to go Taco Bell that night. Okay? But like Chick-fil-A, if you're not going to be open on Sundays, then you can't have commercials on Sundays, because the whole point of Chick-fil-A not being open on Sundays is like, we don't work on the Lord's Day. That's like their thing, right? You're working. You're working obviously on Sunday. Sunday, you paid to be working on Sunday. So you're a liar. You're a bad liar. You're a liar. So we got to fix that. That's got to be a rule. If you're not open, then their commercial can't be on TV. And that's why Taco Bell can be up. Taco Bell commercials can be on all the time, because it's always open. It's always open. There's always a Taco Bell that's open. There's always a fast food restaurant that's a 24 hours one. So they can have their commercials. Coke, Pepsi, beer, for the most part, can always have commercials because they're always available to buy. Okay, for the most part, unless it's like after 2 a.m. in some places, right? Some places 4 a.m. You know, but still, you're not seeing those commercials after 4 a.m. anyways. The whole point is, if a commercial comes on for food or anything, a beverage-wise or something that you can buy like that, I should be able to get it. You know, if it's a product, you could always buy stuff online immediately. You go online and buy it. So they could have commercials for a mattress. That's allowed at all times, because you could order a mattress online. Chick-fil-A, I can't get. This is the only thing it works for. So they need to fix that. Okay, going back to this is like I would think that this is like I keep spilling. I keep fucking spilling. I'm tired already. It's an early start episode, so like I started early in the day, so I feel like my energy's off a little bit. But going into with what we're dealing with in the world, you have to have the mindset. We'll end on this. I mean, this is really all I have this week. It's a shorter episode. We might not get to an hour, but work with what you have until opportunities present itself. That's what I have written down. And what does that mean? It's pretty simple what it means. There's nothing crazy here. It's just like, you can only control what you do, right? We agree with that. And everything else is out of your control. And I know that you've heard this before, and this isn't something I'm making up. And this has been stuff I hear a lot over time. And one thing I say on this podcast is sometimes I say things to you guys or out loud, and it's just me reminding myself. And this is one of them. It's like during all of this, this COVID situation where we can't live normally, normal how we usually do, it can be frustrating, and we could get stale, and we could get worried about like what's going to happen, or what's my self-worth, or what am I supposed to do going forward, how am I going to work, how am I going to make money, how do I progress in what I'm working towards, things that are less tangible than working out. You know what I mean? Like working out, you could always work on those goals no matter what, but things that are like career oriented, even if it's at your job, like nobody's getting promoted right now. Maybe some people are, but like besides the point, you get what I'm saying, is like you can only continue to work with what you have until other opportunities arise or present itself. And that's kind of like with this, like, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to grow a podcast when the comedy community is kind of dead right now, and you can't be hopping on as many podcasts as you would like, and you're not doing stand-up shows as much to meet other people, and you don't have a studio to invite other comedians on to like have them as guests and have them share your podcast because they were on it as a guest. You know what I mean? Like there's different things that are that hold you back, but that's out of my control. I could only work with what I have, and this is what I have right here, is this podcast, and doing it every week, and showing up every week, even when I don't want to, when I'm not as excited about it, because I got other things on my mind that I'm excited about. And that's part of it. That's why success is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, but the point is you just have to keep your head down, put your head down, and keep working with what you have. You have to work with what you have, because that is all you have. It sounds stupid and simple, but like it's the truth. Like you just keep doing, and it's almost inevitable that an opportunity will arise, and the energy you put out will come back to you. It really is. It's like me stressing about how, I want success before I have a family. Like if I put that energy out there, it will happen. if that makes sense. So, and that goes with anything else you're doing in life, is like you have to just keep going. And part of this is brought up because, my roommate goes through this sometimes. I have other friends that go through this, is people get in ruts. Is it ruts? Or they get so they feel stuck maybe sometimes, and they feel like, what is this for? Why am I doing this? And it's like, you've gone this far, and even if it's not that far, you have gone a certain length in your journey that you have to keep going, especially if it's something you believe in and it's something that you care about truly to your heart and that you love. You have to keep going, and eventually will get even better and more fun, because more opportunities will present itself if you do, even though it doesn't seem like that is true. It is true. It's just a science. It really is. And I don't know who had to hear it, but if somebody had to hear that, maybe it was myself. But that is something I truly believe, and I think it's important to remember that that's all you have is what you're doing. If that, I mean, that sounds stupid the way I said that, but like, you can't worry or put energy into other things that you want, or think that you need, because it's out of your control. Whether, whatever you're doing, like, you can think about it in a positive way and be like, oh, I would like to have that one day. I would want that. That's my goal. Okay. If that makes it easier. Like, you can be aware of it, but you can't let that bring you down. You can't let the things that are out of your control bring you down, and you can't soak about them, and you can't stress about them all the time, and you can't question what other people are doing and why they're doing it and why do they have those opportunities. You just can't do that, and you have to get rid of that mentality, and the quicker you do, the more opportunities will present themselves to you. And I promise you that's true, because when you stop looking and worrying about that stuff, you'll be focused on what you're doing and yourself, that you'll all of a sudden realize that there are things that you have in front of that are on your plate that you may have never even realized, but now you do, because you're putting all your focus into what you can only do. I hope that makes sense. But I wanted to kind of leave you guys with that note, and that being said, I hope everybody has a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you enjoy it because you woke up early and you had a big meal. And I hope that, these next few weeks will be, I don't know where I'll be. I think I'll be in Florida for a couple of the weeks. I know I have shows. I have the Palm Beach Improv December 22nd. You can get tickets at my website, michaellenoci.com. I have tickets there, and then I might have a show in Orlando Improv, not sure yet, but I will be doing shows at Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples. I'm not positive. I'm doing a show there with my buddy Michael Q. I'm hopping on his shows the 21st. I'll definitely be there the 21st. I might do the 23rd as well. And then I possibly could be in Tampa the 26th and 27th with my buddy Craig. So there's a lot of Florida shows I could be popping up in at the end of December. So check those out. I'll put them on my website when they are confirmed. And, that's cool that I could get to do it in Florida. Florida's a little crazier, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to hate on it. I'm going to do stand-up wherever I can do it. And, I could, if I want to risk it. But, if you are interested, hit me up and I'll let you know more details. But go to my website for tickets for the Palm Beach show if you are going to be there. That being said, thanks for checking out The Takeover with Michael Lenoci. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
The Takeover.
Okay. Did we start? Yeah, we did. That's how I start.
Takeover.
Now, there's a lot of things we're going to get into. When I speak, and when I speak, and when I speak.
This is Takeover.